Welcome everybody to the gray area. This is where we explore scary, the weird, and the mysterious. And today we're gonna be doing 10 nuclear disasters that you ain't never heard of. Now that's crazy as hell. How we gonna be some nuclear disasters that we ain't never heard of? And 10 of them at that? Okay, we're gonna see about it. We're gonna check them out, y'all. This can be classified as up under the scary and the mysterious. To me, what I'm saying, why we don't know about it. And it's nuclear bombs. So that's scary as hell. So, hey, we finna go ahead and do what we do. You know what I'm saying? But remember, like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what y'all think about them. Because I'm always gonna let y'all know what I think about them. Here we go.
Secret. It wasn't until the end of the USSR that details started to emerge.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at 10 nuclear disasters you've never heard of.
No official warning was given. People in Seascale went about as normal.
For this list, we'll be taking a look at the biggest accidents involving nuclear energy that rarely gets spoken about. Which of our disasters in this video is the biggest? Let us know in the comments. K-19, 1961, North Atlantic Ocean. Not every nuclear accident happens in a power plant. During the 1950s and 60s, the Soviets rushed to manufacture the nuclear submarine K-19 as part of the Soviet Union and U.S. arms race. In 1961, whilst training in the North Atlantic, the nuclear reactor's cooling system had a leak that caused the reactor's temperature to soar.
A pipe ruptured in K-19's nuclear reactor.
The leak soon caused radiation.
This is in the Soviet Union?
The
Yeah.
crew had to build a makeshift coolant system to stop the meltdown. However, it meant that they had to make the ultimate sacrifice.
Without proper radiation equipment, they use what they have.
The new coolant system.
Yeah,
was
so
a
they went in there and
success,
just
yet
basically
the
killed
engineering
themselves.
team all perished before the end of a month's time after the incident.
I know.
Within 2 years, 15 sailors passed away from radiation injuries. Because of this, the K-19 was later.
But look at all the thousands and millions of people y'all probably saved, though, man.
Died of radiation exposure within 2 months. 15 more crew members died within 2 years.
Marcoule Nuclear Site, 2011, France. One part of the Marcoule nuclear site specializes in melting down low-level radiated metal material in order to produce mixed oxide fuel, or MOX fuel. Well, in 2011, disaster struck at the Centrico center of the French site.
This is a major center for nuclear activity in France.
As workers were going about their business and placing items into the large furnace, one of the waste products ignited and caused an explosion. One person sadly lost their life, while 4 others were injured. The explosion also caused a fire to break out on the site. Thankfully, it was quickly contained.
A security perimeter has been thrown around the plant, and the authorities say they are monitoring the situation.
Even though the blast caused a lot of damage, according to officials, no radiation escaped and leaked around the facility or into the environment.
There are no reactors at the Marcoule site, and police say there's no risk of nuclear contamination to the surrounding area.
That's what they say. They tell you anything.
Nevada, U.S. Just an hour outside of Las Vegas sits the Yucca Flat, an area where the U.S. government has conducted over 700 nuclear tests.
Deep in this remote patch of desert, there's a $19 billion hole in
Do they let people even just go out there? Cause that seems like that'd be dangerous.
Which could help unlock a new car insurance rate. Although if you go to...
In 1970, they had one of the worst tests of all time. In what's known as the Bainbury test of Operation Emery, they detonated a nuclear device 900 feet below the desert. The safety shaft failed to work, so the explosion forced a fissure to open, causing radioactive material to be fired
escape.
into the sky.
Yeah.
About 86 employees engulfed.
Yeah,
in
you
the
see
fire.
all of them just standing
The
right there?
government stated that none of the workers received a radioactive dose higher than the guidelines. However, within 4 years of the explosion, 2 workers passed away from leukemia. The families of the deceased workers sued the government. By 1996, the court ruled that there was insufficient evidence the exposure caused the illness.
Y'all never know what it was.
1997, Russia. In the 1940s, the town of Sarov, once known as Artemis 16, became the hub of nuclear weapons with the creation of the All-Russian Scientific Research Institute of Experimental Physics. Then, the area was taken off unclassified maps after it became a closed town, all to keep their secrets secret. In 1997, Russian Federal Nuclear Center senior
Real live
researcher
Raccoon
Alexander
City.
Zaharov attempted an experiment with a
Nuclear
source of
weapons.
highly enriched uranium. Unfortunately, due to incorrect procedures and faulty equipment, Zaharov received a huge dose of radiation at 4850 REM. He perished a few days later. In 2019, 5 Rosatom State Nuclear Energy Corporation workers were slain from an explosion when testing what was reportedly a nuclear-armed missile nearby. Their bodies were buried in Sarov.
The explosion happened at a missile test site just off the northern coast of Russia on Thursday.
North Star Bay, 1968, Greenland. During the 1960s, the U.S. ran Operation Chrome Dome. This was the process of keeping B-52 planes armed with thermonuclear payloads airborne at all times in order to strike the Soviet Union if required. In 1968, one B-52 experienced a cabin fire whilst over Greenland. The plane attempted to make an emergency landing at the Thule Air Base. However, it was too far away. 6 of the 7 crew managed to activate their ejection.
That's what I'm saying. They don't think about.
The final member,
Y'all got a nuclear weapon in the plane. What happened if
B-52 crashed in North
yeah,
Star Bay.
it fall
There
out
was sea ice.
sky?
Plane then drifted without anyone on board.
The nuke just gonna blow up like that, or what?
The base blowing up on the ice.
The payloads detonated and spilled radiation into the
Ooh,
surrounding area.
that's what I'm saying.
American
Right
and
there.
Danish forces immediately descended onto the crash site to clean it up. 3 Mile Island, 1979, Pennsylvania, U.S.
You heard a little something about 3
With a
Mile
mix of
Island.
design flaws,
Everybody kind of heard about 3 Mile Island.
The 3 Mile Island reactor
Unless they got something new on it.
1979 became one of the worst nuclear disasters on U.S. soil. Thankfully, there were no direct fatalities from the incident.
I heard a very loud noise that sounded like a huge release of steam.
The government authorities also examined the area for a rise in cancer cases from the leaked radiation. Yet they didn't find a significant increase.
Do y'all think they really reported?
But there was an increase. But overall, the lack of reliable data has made it difficult to be sure.
All public advisories were finally rescinded. And
They wouldn't report people probably coming down with cancer and everything. They just saying, "Oh, y'all just got it for anything."
The cleanup operation lasted
You know?
14 years, finished in 1993. At the time, the cost was believed to have been $1 billion. Today, that's $1.96 billion.
And to this day, they deny there were any deaths or serious illnesses as a result of the accident.
Windscale, 1957, United Kingdom. In 1957, a fire erupted in England at Windscale, now known as Sellafield, where the country's first-generation nuclear reactors were located. The fire was caused by a design failure of the plant being built to operate with plutonium, yet switching to tritium later. This meant that the reactor had to run at a higher temperature.
The fire was soon burning out of control. Radioactivity pouring out of the chimney.
The fire lasted for 3 days. And
3
released a
days?
huge amount of radiation into the surrounding area.
Man.
Nearby supplies were found to contain
I know a lot of people was sick.
which can cause thyroid cancer. So the milk was eradicated.
The government ordered.
I know more than the milk. Y'all just gonna say the milk. It was everything else. If it was the milk, it was everything else.
I'm Annika Stonehead. I know you weren't expecting to start for another week, but early morning body waits for no man.
Somebody's working really hard to conceal where the money's from.
I mean, we've certainly got the crime scene. It's just, you know, in a billion pieces.
Albion Online is a sandbox MMORPG in which you write your own story.
Fearing the public reaction, the government held back and/or limited reports of the incident for decades. In 2007, a study concluded that approximately 240 people around the site developed cancer from the radiation fallout.
I'm pretty sure it was more than
Averted a
that.
tragedy at Windscale.
I'm pretty sure it was more than that.
Great cost.
Goiânia, 1987, Brazil. Not every nuclear disaster is from explosions or fires. In 1987, a couple of scavengers took a teletherapy unit from the abandoned medical institute Instituto Goiano de Radioterapia, located in Goiânia, Brazil.
Stealing stuff. You stealing stuff you don't even know what you got. You got a whole radioactive stuff.
Contained a capsule of radioactive cesium chloride. The scavengers,
These
one
people.
of which later had to lose some of his fingers due to radiation burns, sold the unit to a junkyard. The owner was fascinated by the glowing material inside. So he invited people over to look at it, and even gave them some of the grains. They were all unknowingly irradiated and dispersed across the city, irradiating others.
Killing everybody.
Making their way to a
We're
hospital.
making everybody sick.
Altogether, 249 people were irradiated, with 4 passing away a couple of months after the exposure to the cesium chloride.
Stealing stuff and messing with stuff you don't know nothing about. You seeing some glowing stuff, man. Why you gonna, man, come on.
1999, Japan. Until 2011 in Fukushima, the worst nuclear incident in Japan happened at the JCO plant in Tukaimura in 1999. 3 workers were attempting to create enriched uranium dioxide fuel. However, unbeknownst to them, they used 7 times the quantity of uranyl nitrate required. This caused the reactor to reach critical mass. The 3 workers were exposed to massive amounts of gamma and neutron radiation from nuclear
In
physics.
terms of the incredible gamma rays.
Survived. A further 70 employees were also exposed to high radiation levels, and further radiation leaked into the surrounding area. In 2000, JCO agreed to pay $121 million to settle 6,875 cases from the incident.
Ooh, 6,000 people.
Several company employees pleaded guilty to negligence.
Before we continue, be sure
Whoa.
to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Kishtim, aka Azyorsk and Mayak, 1957, Russia. Back in the 50s, with nuclear weapons all the rage, the Soviet Union wanted to get in on that. So they cut corners to develop the testing site Mayak in Ozyorsk.
The Soviet Union again.
The nuclear material was produced for the
Damn man, that Soviet Union, they don't care.
The area, also known as Chelyabinsk 40 and Chelyabinsk 65, was a closed city, unmarked on maps. In 1957, an underground tank of high-level liquid nuclear waste that was poorly stored erupted, firing radiation up to 20,000 square miles around the area.
It was the largest nuclear disaster in history.
The Soviets attempted to keep it quiet, but when 10,000
That's the Soviets for you.
evacuated within a week,
They gonna tell them people there ain't nothing wrong.
today,
Ain't nothing wrong.
Chernobyl has released more radiation into the environment than the Mayak explosion. The exact number of fatalities from the
It should, man. That's messed up. You do your people like that, man. That is just so messed up.
that about 50 people got
Man,
cancer.
you don't even care about them.
It's very difficult to say how many subsequently died.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Alright, y'all. We're gonna leave it there. What y'all think about them? They was alright. I mean, it was cool. I mean, that was interesting. I never knew about a lot of them. A lot of them I didn't never know about. I mean, y'all killing people, putting people's lives in jeopardy and stuff with this nuclear stuff, wasting everything, man, and don't even tell nobody about it. And people just going along like it ain't nothing. That is messed up. That's messed up, man. But like I said, leave me a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about it. You know what I'm saying? And until next time, peace.